Alright, so where are we? We are just about to purchase some trains. So, we've got the line running from this here oil drop-off point to the oil pickup point, way off here, where our fledgling oil pumps are currently located. Now they've just gotten power to them, so the storage tank is already 76% full, so it'll be ripe and ready when our first train arrives to clean them out. So let's purchase that train. We're going to buy a diesel locomotive. We want something fast and strong. And I think the Polish-built Su-45 is the train. So, yeah, for the price and its engine power, it's definitely the train for me. And now we're going to need some cargo wagons, which means oil tankers. Let's keep an eye on our finances here. We want as big a train as we can afford. I don't think it's going to fit another one on there. I think it cuts it off at the line. Let's see. Yep. All right. Well, that put me precariously close to bankruptcy, but life goes on. All right. So we're going to... The way I've designed the stops, it needs to go here first. And then here. And it will load. Wait until it's full. Wait until it's empty. Oh, was I wrong about it? Let's see. Oop. Oh, that's right. I redid a bit of a section. Oop. Oh, no. That's not good. I should have looked at that. Oh, wait. I've got an extra rail car. This is not ideal. You don't want to be buying things and then selling them right away, because you get a big penalty for that. So, but that 12 grand will keep these trains a-fillin'. Good, good. And where was I? Right. How big is this? I think it's just one more piece. So, another thing, while I was waiting for wealth to accrue, I came back through here and got ready for the iron industry. So, I'm not going to try and stick the pickup and drop off for iron on... Oop, trains ran out of money. I want to make sure the trains are going. Yep, they're both going. Oh, needs fuel, can't get fuel because there's no money. No money, no power, no power, no pumps, no fuel. So the train goes on, gets money. Because these pumps on the international border do not require anything. They always work. And it'll fill up with petrol on the way back, or diesel, or whatever universal fuel type this game has decided to utilize. Alright, so where were we? It's the last little jaunt. Boop. Alright, now let's get this train rolling. Oop, that's not the building. There it goes. Thing of beauty. Nice big train. Oop. It's got power here. It does have power here. That's good. And now that it's on its way out there, getting the receiving end all lined up is going to be a bit of a thing. So at some point, this large 3x3 oil storage section is where it'll be unloaded till. But this thing costs 107,000 rubles, so that's more than I'm willing to pay for something at the moment. So we're just going to build a bit of a bypass. Yes. raise the pipe, bring it across, bring it down, so that it's nice and raised. Trying to future-proof. So this, what was it? All right. Initially, I was going to have the oil drop off over here, so it's going to be piped in from here. I can deal with it like this, though. Let's raise that. There's no reason not to. So let's leave that section, raise this one, and now I know where to come out on this one to get a nice bendy loop. There we go. Very pretty. Alright, and this one won't be raised because there's no way I'm going to sneak a road into there. So we'll set that up for home building. How much is this? 15? We can afford it. 10. The pump station itself is 10. This other pump station is 10. There's pump stations everywhere. Alright. So let's go check on... Did it make it all? Oh, no, it's not there yet. This is why you want double tracking, because we're going to end up sticking a number. Oh, that track's still wobbly. This whole area was layered to be flat, but that track still looks pretty wobbly. I guess it's because it's right on the edge of the embankment. I gotta tell you, having a wobbly train coming along that... Good thing it's a video game. So, quickly draining. Quickly filling. Oh, it thinks it's confused. Why is it confused? What are you doing? Alright, confusing spot. Why is it confusing? Just go through it. There's no rail signs anywhere. Oh wait, there's a rail sign. There are rail signs. I thought I got rid of them all. I did not get rid of them all. Time to get rid of them all. Bonk. 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 That should do it. Yeah, got rid of the little question mark. Knows its way home now. Now, it is 962 tons. And it's getting up to its full speed, which is nice. On these fancy concrete train tracks. So, while you weren't looking and I was accruing money, I set up this new thingy. So the iron mines will be coming in here. The way to service them is going to be that a freight track and a passenger track come up this way. So these are both running the same way up. And then the freight and the passenger turn around and go this way. Or the freight can, should it choose, come off to our NATO stop and do business with them. And should it choose to go do business on its way back, it just needs to make its way through the iron area, which will be this strip along here. As, where's the iron? You can see the iron is rather rich. But rather than try to load it on this side, I'm going to build up in the mountains on this side and bring it down onto the tracks down here, and then ship it to a spot. So this is where the iron mine is. The processing facility is probably going to sit somewhere around here, And I think I'm going to build the main town around here. Eventually there will probably also be another town here, depending on how long I continue playing this for, till I get bored. Or flagged on YouTube for inappropriate content. One does not know how this will end. So, I'm actually pretty happy with this. There are a few rail crossings. There's one here where a freight line crosses a passenger line. I'm hoping to be able to time it out with signals so that the freight line will have priority. But I wasn't able to get the workers from the iron section back to their town that isn't built yet without crossing the line once. So be it. I just had a thought, and it is not a coherent thought. Yeah, it is not a coherent thought. I was thinking if I was trying to sneak the passenger rail underneath the freight somewhere, but there's no room. So there's one crossing there. There is one crossing to enter the iron or export area. A freight line crosses a passenger line once coming up here. And then other than that, I'm able to keep it separated and just running in parallel, and then by utilizing the tracks going overhead, you can loop things around underneath. So I've got a freight line that comes out from the iron, comes down around here, loops down underneath here, and then back through here so that it can come down the main industrial freight line, train line, to where the processing facility will be somewhere around here. Oh, look at this. So this train, let's actually grab a hold of it, rather than the train lines that it is. Oh wait, I did. Oh. At any rate, let's see if there's any fuel at all left. No. All the fuel that it has dropped off has already been used. So that should give you an idea of how much fuel this facility is processing at the moment. We've got 360 odd peasants working away at turning oil into gas and bitumen, and we are not even close to being able to provide enough locally. So, in order to fix that, we need more trains, we need a bigger oil field, and we need double tracks so that trains can go the to and fro without any problems. There is a way, if you're new to this game and new to train games in general, to build waybys, sections of track alongside a single line where a train can go off into it and then wait there while another train passes on this single line. But they're quite inefficient. The last game that I played, I initially built my track using that design, but it was a pain in the ass, and they kept getting stuck on each other, and you tried to make it nice and big, and then by the time you got them, enough of them and large enough for it to be worthwhile, then you're suddenly in a situation where you've nearly got the whole thing double-tracked anyways, and so you might as well fill in the last few gaps. So that's what happened. Except that because this game is a little bit new, the more little tiny spaces of rail there are, the more likely you are to end up with some weird bug where the train just doesn't want to go past it. And even though it looks graphically as if the track is there, the game doesn't recognize there being any track there. So I like to lay down long single sections, and then once everything has been worked out... Oh, is this thing already full? They don't fill all the way. I think later on, when you get larger rail cars, it's more efficient. I think there's just a little bit of loss on each wagon so that its potential is 600 tons, but realistically you only fit 594 tons once they're all filled. So let's see, what's this worth? So this is the nice thing. So each time this makes it back to camp, it saves me $21,000. So that's $21,000 worth of oil that I'm not importing. So it starts contributing to the value curve as the thing goes on. So that being said, we are making quite a good profit off of importing oil. It's only 1962 though, and inflation will certainly catch up with us at some point. But until then, let's try to buy as much train track as possible. So we're going to extend out the double track all the way around so that we have the first part of our industrial loop established. That was an expensive piece of track. Let's see this one. Ooh. Alright, that'll be the last one for a bit. We'll have to wait for a second. It is very easy in this game to spend $1 million, or 1,000,000 rubles, or 1,000,000 whatever. Let's see. Still people without a job. What's the reason? So there's 120 people without a job. Everyone has at least a basic education. I thought the problem was that individuals with no education were unable to work at the factory because I had a glut of people who couldn't read. But then the famine came and all those people moved away, it seems. And now they've all been replaced, more or less. What is the current population? Yeah, so as you can see, there was quite the dramatic decline. We didn't quite make it to 4,000 peasants, but then we dropped down to 1,000 about. Not great. This year... Oh, that was last year. Now this year has been quite... I don't understand. Okay, so going over things. How do I get it all to show up? This is bizarre. Unemployed workers, average age, average lifespan. Okay. Where is the actual population? There we go. So it's only March. Don't have an awful lot of data. It doesn't seem like a lot of people are moving in or leaving now. Still some people complaining that they don't get any culture, they don't get to go to the hospital, or to the tavern, or to the church, despite there being a church now. I said there wouldn't be a church, now there's a church. Because I wanted to see if that would get more people to go to work, and... nope, doesn't seem so. I guess people are no more inspired by the state to work than inspired by God to work. So, which track are we taking? We're taking the leftmost track. This is one of my favorite things about this game, is that you're able to lay everything out, and should you have the resources, your little plebs will come out and begin construction, or you can just leave it like this as placeholders. And it is kind of annoying when I'm trying to get a nice, a nice scenic shot, and oh, the background's all filled with construction Oh, I'm bankrupt. Hold on. I need to cancel this. Oopsie doopsie. Ran out of money. Pay more attention. Yeah, running out of money while both trains have just finished unloading means no electricity to refill them. Which is bad. Which then means looking around for bulldozers to sell at fire sale prices. Which is also bad. How much is this whole next section of rail? I didn't realize how big this piece of double track was. Yeah, it's almost half done, and still the remainder is still going to be 74,000. So, we're just going to sleep on that one for a second. I think there might only be these two. Oh, no, wait. 3. Yeah, 3 more sections. So 45,000, 64,000, and 74,000 will complete the way back. And then I can start sticking extra trains onto that extraction point. And once there's extra trains on the extraction point, I can expand the extraction point and put more wells out there. And then once there's more wells out there, I can figure out how many trains I'll need. I think more than last time, I've played this map a few times, and with more or less this idea in mind, and I think it was 3 trains. Admittedly, this setup is a lot faster of a setup. My previous designs were considerably more clunky. I'm taking a lot more consideration and care. Let's not just stare at these things while I wait for money. The goal with this playthrough is to get to the point where I am selling enough oil where I can just go about the rest of the map and build and not have to worry about going bankrupt or turning the power off by mistake. And then I can stop doing things in the background. But until then, we're going to call it good here, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.